Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you a true story about that time I made over $20,000 in 3 hours. True story. In my last video, I told the story about how and why I moved to Europe, but I skipped over a little section of this story about the fact that I came into this $20,000-ish completely randomly in work that I did over 3 hours, and that is what enabled me to make the decision to do this international lifestyle. And it gave me the time I needed to eventually start the business that has kept me going today, because I knew that obviously $20,000 alone isn't going to change my whole life. It isn't going to be enough for me to support this lifestyle that I wanted. So I had to use that time to think of creative ways that I could keep it and maintain that lifestyle. It was the day after Trump got elected in 2016. And I remember, never forget, I woke up and I checked the news because I went to sleep not knowing what the results were going to be, and I woke up and I was very surprised, to say the least. Jesper was in California for the first time, and he was there during an election, which was really exciting for him, and he really wanted to watch it on TV, and I said, no, we don't have to watch it. Hillary's gonna win. This is a waste of time. Let's just go about our day and, don't worry about it. I thought Trump had no chance. Of course, that was wrong. So the next day I woke up thinking this is not real life. I was really sad. I was just really down, really low energy. I had to go to work that day. And then when lunchtime came around, I thought, okay, I'm going to treat myself today for lunch to make myself feel better. And when I'm sad, I want to be full of carbs, okay? So I went across the street to Panera Bread, and they sell this bread bowl soup that I love. There's you can get any soup you want, and they serve it to you in a bowl of sourdough bread. And I don't just eat the whole soup, I eat the whole bread too. The reason why this is important is because I have never eaten at that Panera in my whole entire life. And that going to that Panera is what made this story possible, okay? It's just funny to know that the little things that happen add up to really significant things in your life, like taking one different move or dropping something on the ground. You never know what's gonna happen that's gonna change your life. So first of all, Trump getting elected did play into the story, because if Trump hadn't gotten elected, I wouldn't have gone to Panera that day. Then of course I went to Panera and I was eating my lunch, and these 2 young girls came up to some people that were sitting at the tables outside. They had an iPad and a clipboard, and they were recruiting people for something. So I kind of paid attention. I don't know, they weren't talking to me, and I feel like some people wouldn't have noticed that or would have just ignored it because they didn't talk to me. They talked to someone else, and I was just kind of sitting there observing what was going on, and I saw that they were recruiting people for something. So they went up to these other people and they asked them, they said, hi, we're recruiting people to participate in a focus study about cars. Are you interested in doing this? You will get $200 or $300, might have been $200, and you have to show up on between these dates, and it will take 3 hours of your time. And so if you're interested, I'll just take a picture of you and write your name down. And they did this whole pitch to someone else. And so I didn't know if they were going to come up to me next, but I didn't wait for them to think about it. I just said, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm interested, do I fit the description? And then they were like, yeah, sure, if you want to, we'll put you down. So that is important, because maybe they weren't going to come up to me for whatever reason after. Maybe they had to have 10 people and maybe I was number 11, So I don't know if they would have come to me, but I took action and I got their attention. I believe in the law of attraction. And so the law of attraction doesn't mean that you think about something, you think about $20,000 and it's just gonna come in your lap. No, you're gonna be in situations where you have opportunities and you have to be ready to jump on them. So again, I didn't know what I was doing. This could have been a scam at this point for all I know. Who even knows? So I said, hey, I'm interested. Do I fit the description? They put me down, took my picture. They said, we'll let you know if you are invited. And so I waited, I don't know, a couple days, and I got an email and they said, sure, we'd like to have you come down. I didn't know anything, just that it was a focus study about cars, okay? That's all I knew. And I was gonna get supposedly $200 for 3 hours in downtown Los Angeles. Sounds a bit sketchy? Maybe, but I was open-minded. So I got there and sure enough, yeah, they had us sign releases, they put microphones on us and they put us into a room. And then it took actually longer than it was supposed to take. So maybe they said it would take 2 hours and it really took 3. So I was a little bit annoyed that it was taking so long. And so I was thinking, oh, they said it would be 2 hours, now it's taking 3 hours. I don't remember what it was, but I remember feeling like this is taking longer than they said. And it was really boring because I was just waiting most of the time. So finally it's my turn. I go in to the room with a microphone. There's a bunch of lights. There's only one camera. Like there's just one guy following us with a camera. And it didn't feel like it was a commercial shoot because you would expect a commercial shoot to be a little bit more like put together, like more cameras, more lights. It was just kind of like an empty room where they had us all in and they had these cars. They were Chevrolet cars. It was clearly something related to Chevrolet. So he said, yeah, I just want you guys to get into the car and tell me what you think about the car. So we all took turns going and there was one camera, but what I didn't know is that there were actually other hidden cameras in the room, like probably 10, I don't know. So that was it. And I left and they gave me the check for $200. And so that was it. I went home, didn't think anything of it, nothing. About a week later, I got an email from the company, the recruiting company, and they said, hi, we need you to sign a few more papers, including one for like screen actors. And I was like confused and I was like, screen actors? That's strange. Acting? Like I didn't do any acting. In fact, they made sure that you were not an actress when they recruited you to come on. They even like called or emailed in advance to verify that I was not an actress. So I wasn't an actress, I was an editor. Anyway, they had me sign a paperwork for Screen Actors Guild, SAG. And I was like, why would I be signing for SAG? So I called because I was confused and she said to send an address where I could receive checks. Checks? What checks? So I called because I was like really confused. And I called and I said, hey, what's this about? And she said, oh yeah, the focus study you did, you ended up being in a commercial that we're going to put on television. It's going to be a nationwide commercial and you're going to be getting some royalty payments. So every time we show the commercial, we're going to be paying you the legal royalty according to the Screen Actors Guild requirements. So I was like, what? Can I ask you like how much am I going to get? And she said, okay, let me just add it up for you. So she like takes a second to add everything up and she says, $8,000. I was like, what? My jaw dropped to the floor. I was like, are you kidding me? $8,000? This is like for real? And she was like, yeah, they won't all come at once. You'll get checks over time. And she was like, but this is a Christmas commercial. We're doing this for the Christmas season. So if it had been a non-Christmas commercial, then you would have gotten paid more. So it's just for Christmas. So it's only played during a short amount of time. So I'm sorry about that. And she was apologizing to me for $8,000. So I was so excited. And again, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, nationwide commercial, does anyone even watch TV anymore? And like a few days later, I was getting emails from like friends and family from all over the country saying like, hey, I saw your commercial. People were recording it, sending it to me. So people actually were seeing it and it was like getting showed a lot. So I was like happy because every time they showed it, I was getting royalty payments, but I knew it was $8,000. So as you know, that's not $20,000, right? So flash forward a few months later, Christmas is over, didn't think anything of it. I get more checks, no more email, no more paperwork, because in the contracts that I signed, they have the rights to use my videos for so many years. So I didn't have to sign any more papers, but my mom like called me and was like, Brittany, you're getting more checks in the mail. And I said, open them, like tell me how much it is. I was just shocked that I was getting more checks in the spring. It wasn't the Christmas one anymore. So sure enough, around the same time, friends and family started sending me videos of another commercial. They used the same footage to edit a second commercial that wasn't for Christmas anymore. It was another one. And what's funny is in the first one, I am shown saying nothing. Like I'm just smiling in the background. I don't say anything. In the second commercial, I actually say something. So maybe they paid me more because I was like actually speaking. So all I said was, there's Wi-Fi in cars, and apparently that was the money shot, and that was what made them put me in the second edit. So I got really lucky that I was in 2 commercials. And what's even crazier about this is that there were people, let me tell you this part. So there were people that, of course, showed up the day. They had people all day long, not just for my session, because there was like 4 or 5 of us in each session. They probably did sessions like for days. So they had a lot of people to choose from, and they chose me twice. And so there were people that showed up that day, did the focus study, and didn't get put in the commercial. So that's not lucky, and I was actually chosen, so I got lucky. Or law of attraction, however you want to see it. Then, on top of that, there was this guy who was just there because he drove his friend. He just drove his friend to the warehouse, and so he was just sitting there waiting, and they said, oh, we had someone cancel, do you want to go in? And do you want to be in the focus study too? We'll pay you $200 or $300, whatever it was. And he was like, okay, sure, why not? Guess what? That guy ended up getting in the commercial, and the friend that he brought did not. So you really never know like what's gonna happen. Just life is crazy, you know? The moral of this story is life is crazy. The law of attraction works for me. Of course, like, I don't know how much is luck, how much is manifestation, how much is like, I believe in God, but I believe it all works together. And if you know me, I am kind of a lucky person. Like, this is just like one story of many of like random things that happen to me, but they don't just happen to me. Like, I am the kind of person that will raise my hand and say, I want to do this, I am ready. It's the people that show up and look for opportunities and expect that things like this are going to happen to them. Like, when I signed up for this, I didn't expect that I was going to get kidnapped, otherwise I wouldn't have gone. I expected that it was going to go smoothly, and of course I didn't expect it to happen $20,000 like this, but I did expect that it was going to go smooth and that it is possible even to get $200 in 3 hours, because that's still pretty good pay for a random afternoon. So that's the moral of this story, and look out for miracles in your own life. Don't expect that these things don't happen to you or that these things don't happen to anyone, because they happen. And like I said, this $20,000 wasn't enough for me to like be rich, of course, not at all. I was able to go 1 year of living pretty frugally and setting up a way for me to work online. So that's what I did. And I guess in another video, I'll explain what I do for work online, because that's a whole other story. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And one thing I forgot to mention in this video is that this experience did inspire me to pursue acting and give commercial acting a real shot. So I have since done a few more commercials through an agency here in Barcelona, and I really think it's a fun way to make some side money. And if you like hearing stories about manifestation and things like this, then give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos on travel and business and creative projects and success. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.